Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you for stopping by. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. This is Dorcas Glader with Chit Chat with the African in Ecuador. It's just 10 a.m. here in Ecuador. I've just had my breakfast, and so you can grab whatever beverage of your choice. We have a lot to talk about today. So let me start. I'll be looking at my notes on my other phone. I don't want to stutter a lot. So I'm just a new kid on the block, so to speak, on YouTube. But I am really taking advantage of every resources I find on YouTube to learn how to become a better YouTuber, how to become a better content creator, if not a business owner on YouTube. Yeah, that was what I learned last week. But before I go into the topic, I first of all wanted to apologize for those of you who were with me last week. My video was a little bit poor. Actually, the connection was poor in the room where I was working from. It happened that I didn't um, connect my Wi-Fi extension, and so the video was poor. I apologize for that, but the audio was very clear. I went over and I listened to it. And I also wanted to thank a little girl who subscribed to my channel. It's not every time that YouTube tells you when somebody subscribes. So, but I went to her page and I do every time I get an information that someone subscribed, I try to return the favor if it's a content creator that is creating something that resonates with me, something that I do watch on YouTube. So that is one thing I learned from the tutorial videos I've been watching as a new YouTuber. Don't just subscribe for the fun of subscribing, okay? Subscribe to someone who you know you can go back and watch their videos and like their videos. You know, that way it helps their channels to grow. There is no need for somebody to have subscribers who are not returning, who are not liking their videos. It doesn't help the algorithm promote their business. However, I was watching a tutorial this week by Sonny Lenarduzzi, and she was talking about how to convert your content creation to work for you as opposed to just having to work under pressure every week, every day sometimes um, to create content. And she made a lot of points that really resonated with me. And so I thought I would like to share that with you today on Chit Chat with Dorcas in Ecuador. Chit Chat with the African in Ecuador. So the first thing that she said was a lot of us don't know what social platform to grow our business on. She talked about why YouTube is the place to grow your virtual business as opposed to other social media platforms, because on YouTube you do have a constant viewing. What she meant by that was that on YouTube your videos are always there, they are relevant, they are not just thrown in like the others. Whereas on other platforms, you're just thrown in with the other bunch of content creation, because actually they are just short. People just come and go and just pass, and you know, it's just a fleeting attention. Whereas long content video creation is where you can actually put in a lot of information that requires lasting attention, so to say. And that was really important, you know. And she said for another reason why you should actually do long form videos as opposed to just splitting videos was that when you are sharing experience and knowledge, it funds your freedom as opposed to fueling your burnout. And I'll give you an example with a little video that I I downloaded just to show, to make an example of what she was trying to say. Okay, so just bear with me. Here is the video. So on other social platforms, or when we are on YouTube and just creating content just to chase subscribers and up our viewing sessions, we become like this hamster that, keeps working, churning out videos, but has to go down to pick subscribers. So we are just working for the algorithm as opposed to working for ourselves. What does she mean by that? When you go to YouTube, you have videos that people keep coming back to view. You see, about one video would have like maybe 10,000 views and people keep going back. And that particular video alone is generating revenue for the creator. And then when you go to other platforms, you still have those people who most times your posts, your reels or your short don't really generate content for that kind of time frame. So what I mean is you post and then the video makes it maybe 2 days, you reach 100 points. After 24 hours, that's the end of that video. So on YouTube, that video can be stored there and you continually are making money from that particular video. That is the kind of video that she wants us to be creating, okay? And that kind of video does not just come overnight. She says the better our videos become, the more authentic we are, the better we are able to hook our viewers, okay? And that means returning subscribers. So I saw that also on another tutorial that within the first 60 seconds of any video is when you can get the viewer hooked. And when people can come to you for real solutions to real life problems, they will keep coming back to view your videos. Okay, so that is why YouTube is more reliable because once that video is there, they can always come back either with a subject or with your name and they will easily reach out to get that video. I see that also on Facebook. So it depends on the followers. I have heard of established YouTubers who actually say that they prefer to work on Instagram because the hustle is less. Others say YouTube has worked for them. But basically, what the goal of that video was saying is that you need to um, be able to generate a video that can draw viewers and generate viewers and can bring people coming back to watch as opposed to having to work under pressure. That creates a burnout. For example, if you have to work every day to create videos just so that people come to view, then that leads to a burnout. But if you can make one video that can generate the 4,000 viewers that YouTube is asking for, you find out that you don't really need to continue making videos every day because you know that that one video will generate more viewers for you. And so, like I showed you in the hamster, this thing, when you have those kind of content, you don't have the stress. So you want to start creating in a stress-free manner where you are creating stress-free under stress-free conditions where you come with purpose and from that purpose you grow into a place where you are generating. The first point that makes that successful for us is your quietness or your peace, which is a competitive advantage that opens up doors to well, and that really spoke to me. When you are working in a place, and I mean emotional space, I'm not talking really necessarily physical space, a place where there is no urgency, there is no pressure, you are not chasing the numbers, you are not chasing the viewers, but you are coming from a place of importance and priority. You prioritize what it is that you are giving to the people, what it is that people need. Is it solution? Is it entertainment? Is it information? You know that there is that piece that you know where you are going to. So for example, she gave us the model of a business person, and I will just explain it in this manner. If you go on the street or you go out of your house, there are hawkers, right? But if that hawker does not go to sell his produce, he cannot survive. That business would die. So he doesn't have that quietness, that luxury of going on a holiday because his survival depends on the business, as opposed to where a buyer who is online, who has an online store, does not necessarily need to go on the road to promote the goods. They have an established website, they have everything set up, and people just come because they already know the product, and people just purchase the product. So if you are a small business owner, like I was saying at the beginning, you need to ask yourself that question, like, if I don't produce today, if I don't provide a service, if I don't provide certain goods or services like we on content creation, will the business survive? If you don't post today, how will your channel do? Will it survive? Will it generate you income? That is the quiet where you want to get to. That is a peace of mind that you need to produce from. And for me, as an upcoming YouTuber, it made a lot of sense to say, this is not the season where I should be pursuing I should be pursuing viewers like, please subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. No, I am at the stage where I'm still crafting my art. I'm still learning how to be a better speaker. I'm still learning how to be a better content creator. So the purpose of my coming to YouTube channel is the the second point. And for me personally, what brought me to YouTube channel was actually at this point is that I want to become a better public speaker. I realized that for a long time, I've always wanted to talk to people, to be better at public presentation, to be a motivational speaker, because I have worked as a lot on missionary field, and YouTube has given me that platform to hone that skill to become a public speaker. So that is for me the point, my purpose of coming to YouTube. At the beginning, like I said in my previous videos, the purpose had been to come and look for a partner who would study languages with me. But then I didn't get the partner. Instead, what happened was that I had to push myself to be a better speaker, a better learner, and that increased my fluency in the language I was learning. So, by the way, let's debate a little bit. If you are interested in learning new languages, this is my language channel. This is my language channel, autodidact. I didn't even know that I had um, 2 new subscribers already. So yeah, I'm trying to focus it so that you can see. It's not focusing. Yeah, it's a learning process, but you get the name. Okay, Donna Autodidacta, and that's it, guys. So that was my first purpose, and it didn't work because I realized most people actually would either go to school or get an app. Most people use Duolingo or any other app for them to learn languages. So that purpose didn't work. But now my My purpose is to talk about the challenges that we face as beginners. My purpose is to help others to see that you can start doing what you're passionate about. It doesn't matter what you want to do. If you're on a weight loss journey, I do create short videos on the progress I'm making, Actually, um, the purpose of my YouTube channel is quite clear in the name, Dorcas Diaries Making Memories, Dorcas Making Memories, because I'm just documenting everything that I'm learning. And I know that for a lot of us who didn't have the privilege of doing a lot of things when we were younger, this is the time as adults that we now have that freedom of time, the flexibility of time to be able to pursue our dreams. And so that is my purpose in coming to YouTube, is to, you know, to share my learning experience. Actually, that's my purpose. Even when I do these lives, many people will watch and you will see the tension, you will hear maybe the uncertainty in my voice, and you will know that you are not the only one that is afraid, and with time we will get better. I talked about last week, doing it afraid, doing it scared. And yeah, so that is the purpose. And so you have to ask yourself that purpose. And a lot of times I realize it's very easy to lose the purpose because of pressure, because you are not seeing growth, or because there is no change. When you are true to yourself, when you are true to that purpose, that is what we call authenticity, your growth is going to be quite slow. It's going to be like a snowball effect. If you're fortunate to be somewhere where there is snow, you know that when you make a snowball and you start rolling, it starts very small, but the more you keep rolling that ball, the more you keep rolling that ball, the bigger that ball will become. And that is your success. That is your experience. That is your authenticity growing. You gain what she calls authenticity ascension, because you become better. Tomorrow, next month, I'm going to get better. I'm going to stutter less. I'm going to have my thoughts more collected. And you're going to know how to do your sales. You're going to know how to market whatever it is that you are selling, you know. And when you have become an expert or more knowledgeable at what you are doing, that is when you should be expecting to see profit. Profit in what sense? Profit in the sense that people have now begun to trust your product or trust the content you put out here on YouTube or whatever platform that works for you. Or if you're a marketer, like I said at the beginning, people begin to know your product, and now you're beginning to develop a relationship with your clients, or in this case, with your viewers. Most times when your purpose is a solution to real life problems, it is not, or it may not, let me say, draw a lot of viewers. It may not draw a lot of subscribers rather. But the thing is, when people get to know your product, when people get to know your content in this case, they come back because you have made yourself authentic. You have become a sort of authority in what you are doing or in what you are producing. And over time, you have that customer base that is loyal to you. And when you have that customer base, you know that you have returning subscribers, which is what I am pursuing as a new YouTuber. I have learned to shift the focus from new subscribers to returning subscribers. And if you're watching, I would love you to go through my live chats or hair videos if that's what you're interested, or go to my language channel to see what I'm doing. And you see that you like what I do, if you're interested in my content, if you admire my work, then you can subscribe, or you can just leave me a like to let me know that you appreciate the work I'm doing or it resonates with you. And so with time, after that stage, profit begins to come. And that is what she was saying. I was explaining to you at the beginning that your videos will start selling for themselves as a content creator because you have become an authentic person. You have become a kind of authority in your field. I look at that like when I came to YouTube, I look at that, I see that rather with people who produce, who have been on the channel for over 10 years. There's a lady I saw, her name is Fumide Selfboard. I stumbled on one of her adverts, on one of her content that went viral. That was about 4 or 5 years ago, and that was because that video was generating views just by itself. She didn't make any other one she had done. It was called the Bra Hack, and the information there resonated with a lot of people. People shared without having to tell them to share. And for a beginner, we are just starting. We will grow. We have to grow to get to that point where people can understand our language, appreciate the output that we are putting out there, and then your video will start to grow. She said it took her 10 years to get to where she is today. And my content is just what? My journey is less than a year. So I cannot expect viewers. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I saw another tutorial where the guy said a lot of times YouTube success is based on luck. You will produce that one video that will just go viral. But the things that you have to produce, whether you are scared, whether you are not, you just have to produce that video consistently until you become an authority in your niche. I have watched people's videos that they produced years ago because it's relevant to me today. And so if you're producing, if you're like me, you have to start finding your niche where you can start putting out information in your own unique way. Look for what is missing in that niche that people have not brought. Maybe it's the language, maybe it's the content production or something that makes it unique to you. Okay. So that is the strategic content creation and consistency. Okay, so that is where we are heading to as business owners, startup businesses, startup content creators. Okay, so the first thing in summary, create a highly targeted content that targets a specific problem. So for me, the content I'm creating for you today is how to launch your YouTube channel, how to grow on YouTube, whether you're experienced or not. The next thing is to use that content to guide people to free sources. And I'm going to leave a lot, I think a pair of two of those channels for you to go and view and see how they came, how they grew, especially that video of Sonny Lenadosi, where she talked about, the title of the video is 5,000, making 5,000 a month with zero posts on social media. What she meant by that is that she doesn't post on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, but her post here on YouTube is what gives her that $5,000 per month. And you nurture that relationship through an email list. So that is why I'm going to leave you a link to that video so that if you are a business owner who is just starting up, you can go learn how to create an email list. And she talked about that, why it's good to have an email list is that you are not dependent on the algorithm, but rather you have direct access to your subscribers and to your viewers. I don't know how to do that. And as a beginner, one thing I have learned is not to dabble into topics that we don't know very well, because that makes you very nervous when you're talking about it. I just came here, like I said in the description, I wanted to share with you what I learned this week and how I learned it. Like I said at the beginning, it's not you, it's me. It's also the reverse. A lot of times we go to YouTube. YouTube has a wealth of information, but many a times we come to YouTube because we are bored, because we're seeking a specific something. We just come to YouTube without paying attention to what we're listening to. when I listened to that video for the second time, I was able to take in the information that was in that video, and that was why I decided to make it the topic for today's chit chat. When you look at tutorials, take notes, see what they are doing, listen to the key points of the videos, and apply it in your own content creation journey. And I promise you, you will grow. A lot of things that I've applied last month didn't work for me, like those quick and fast rules, settings that you should on, settings that you should off, put it on public, put it on unlisted, don't do this, don't do that. YouTube is changing, the algorithm is really changing. Those things didn't work for me. But rather, the thing that have built my confidence to continue being persistent on this journey has been this kind of tutorials that talk about investing in yourself. So I am the investment. You are your own investment. You are your biggest fan. Invest in yourself. Get better, get more knowledge on what you want to do out here on YouTube, and let's grow together. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. DKP Gaming at 1-1. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. And there is this person who wrote in Arabic. I can't read Arabic, but I wanted to thank you so much. Let me know your name in our own alphabet. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time. And if you found this helpful, or you have any other tips that really helped you in your growth on YouTube as a content creator on any other platform, can you share it please in the description, in the comment section, so that we can all learn and grow together and make it together. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I am Dorcas Glader, the African in Ecuador. Bye-bye.